hearts light up with night.
Now, from the Untold Radio Network, it's Untold Radio AM with Doug and Alex Hajicek.
Hello, Mr. Alex Hajicek. How are you?
Hello.
How are you? How is everybody in chat? Looks like we got a lot of people in chat.
Heidi ho, folks.
We've got lots of people in chat. Anyhow, happy to see everybody here. We have got a pretty packed show, and I'm gonna tell you who our guest is gonna be. But then I got a crazy story I want to tell you.
Sure. Hit me.
How come you never have any crazy stories?
Well, I'm the boring, grounded one. You're the adventurous, exploring type.
Oh my God. So anyhow, we have Chris Reinhardt with us tonight.
Yes,
we may have a special guest that nobody knows about, not even you. Nobody.
Ooh. Exciting.
May not be. I was going to mention, are you going to get that? We're going to do a private webinar with our members. And Alex is going to have that scheduled and get an email out yet this week on the date for that.
Yes. And if you are a Untold Radio Network member, you will get a notification.
Yes, and then you can meet with me and Alex privately on Zoom or whatever Alex concocts. He'll send you a link. You'll click on it. You can put your camera on, leave it off. Doesn't matter to us. And we're going to just visit.
Yes.
Took you a while for that yes.
Not awkward at all.
Well, it's a way to get to know each other. And then tonight with Chris, we're going to talk about Bigfoot behavior, encounters, strange stories, both in the suburban areas. People don't realize there's Bigfoots in the suburbs on the edges. And then you have the rural areas where, most of the sightings happen, but they do happen in the urban areas too. I'm not talking about downtown Chicago.
No.
I'm talking about
suburbs. Yes.
Suburbs can be pretty wild. In fact, that's where I think most of the wildlife is now, in the suburbs. I do.
I could see that. Yeah.
I do. And then we're going to do trivia. We've got a lot of UFO stuff I want to talk about tonight. Clips. We've got You Be the Judge, and we're going to bring Chris on for that.
Very
Just
cool.
give me 20 seconds to read his bio.
25 seconds.
25. Okay. Was that a passive? That was not a passive aggressive thing when I said we need 25 seconds to read Chris's bio.
No, that was fine.
Yeah. Okay. I hate it when people go, "Oh, we need an hour to read your bio."
Well, they do. You've done so many things. What do you leave out?
I don't know. Anyhow, and let's see here. Okay, the story. So this happened. Wasn't last night. It was the night before last. Would have been Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. So Monday night, I worked till like 2 a.m, 2:30. Kind of late, but actually pretty early for me. No pun. And so I'm heading off to bed. I gotta take a few vitamins or whatever before I go to bed, a little routine. And I look out the window as I usually do because I get this big, beautiful picture window. I can see stars or whatever. And the moon is really bright, right? The sky is lit up super bright. And there's kind of dark clouds it's really windy and they're moving really quick, by the moon. And they're coming and approaching the moon. And then they go behind the moon.
Behind the moon.
Are you following me?
Yeah, something's not right.
The clouds go behind the moon, not in front of the moon, like I've always seen.
Right. So what does
I've
it
never
mean?
seen that. And you got to realize I have filmed many, many hours of the moon, both using telescopes and really expensive cameras because, like all the moonshots you'd see in Monster Quest, somebody had to shoot them, and I would do
Someone
that.
had to shoot them.
For other TV shows, I was always shooting the moon, set the moon, the moon, the moon, the moon. So I'd never seen that. Now, could that be an illusion? Sure, of course.
Sure.
Did I figure it out? Hell no. I watch these, I'm like, okay, that cloud's really dark and it should leave a trail in front of the moon. Something should, cover the moon a little bit.
Right.
A little bit more gray where the cloud hits. Nothing.
That's bizarre.
Like, okay. So I looked it up, other videos, and I did this the next day. All these other people that have seen the same thing. And I sent you just first example I found. What does it say? Wait, clouds behind the moon. The clouds look kind of similar, actually, to these clouds were pretty similar. But the wind was blowing the clouds pretty quick, so I didn't have to wait a long time. You didn't even play it yet. Do you see that cloud on the right side of the moon? Okay. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it looks like it's in front of it.
Like the moon is in front of the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked, and there were hundreds of videos of people saying this. And I thought, I guess I know what you mean. So I can't explain it. Some kind of an illusion. It has to be. Obviously, the moon is 220,000 miles away. Can't do that.
You can't. No.
But everybody's going, the moon is local. The flat earth people love these clips. They're like, well, that proves and then I was telling Joe about it, and Joe goes, well, maybe they're UFOs that look like the moon. And I went, well, it's the best explanation I've heard yet. Maybe it's not the moon. Yeah. And usually the moon is set by the time I went to bed. I didn't really look, but I should investigate. Anyhow, if you have comments of that, or you've ever seen it, throw them in the comments so other people can permanently see those comments. All right. And most people don't even probably pay attention, do they?
That's the problem, right? You got to look up first.
As my dad used to say, most people are too poor to pay attention.
That's quite the saying.
Anyhow, but if most people wouldn't, and
yes.
I do, I'm always stopping and pausing, look, just, look at this, beautiful. That's why I looked. I went, God, I'm glad to see this. It's so beautiful. So anyhow, pay attention, folks. Who knows? What else do we have? What else? I cannot find my notes I was looking for. Oh, well, I already went through all my notes. That's why. They're done. They're done.
They're done?
Yeah, all my notes. I read them all. They're done. They're over. I used them all. I was looking for notes I already didn't need. Oh, and then Eric, who was in chat, was working on a pretty innovative way to make wood knock sounds for Bigfoot research. Cool. Kind of an innovative, out of the box. It sounded really cool. And he's experimenting. And as you know, when you're experimenting on an invention or some new research, to usually do what we call a funeral walk, 1 or 2 nights or days. You have failures.
Yeah, you think about giving up.
No, he's trying to do something a little different. It didn't work the way it worked, but it wasn't quite as loud as he had wanted. So, anyhow, let's congratulate people for thinking out of the box. And not everything's a home run. May not work at all. All right, let's get into a little bit of news I thought was interesting. A Filipino researcher has apparently developed something invented, like Eric is an inventor, using some sound waves to extinguish fire. Some kind of a big diaphragm and a tub and I would imagine it's probably a speaker, a piezo crystal that's doing this. But apparently it puts out fires without a mess. Think about it. You get a fire in your kitchen. What are you going to take? They used to use halon, but I think they've kind of banned halon because it's pretty toxic. So you grab the typical fire extinguisher that's got things like baking soda and other foams and whatnot, and it extinguishes. You get this huge mess to clean up. Sometimes the extinguisher does more damage than the fire did.
Than the fire, yeah.
I've heard that, yeah. Or the sprinkler systems. But anyhow, so it says a group of researchers from the Philippines is making headlines for creating a fire exterminator device that uses sound waves. This really was interesting to me. It says the device was created by University of Mindanao engineering graduates and apparently Francis Bagal, Franco Ballara, and Christian Pogoy, along with their advisor Stephen Paul Agoo. And apparently the project was designed to extinguish fires on electrical wiring or gadgets that would otherwise be dangerous to put out with water. And I threw you a video, I believe. Oh, maybe I didn't.
I think I might have.
No, I don't think I did. Did I?
I think, is this it?
Well, we ain't got fire in it. I don't think so.
Hold on.
Yeah. Actually, it is. Go right in the middle, and you can put the volume up. It sounds cool. Put it.
Kanyang pagbuga ng sound waves, and then yung efficiency din niya.
Binubuo ng manual and automatic switch functions with fire sensors ang prototype na napapagana ng rechargeable sodium-ion battery. Wala rin dapat ikabahala dahil ligtas sa pandinig ang prototype na nasa 80 decibels ang sound level at kayang umabot sa layong hanggang 2 metro.
So yung barrel is
Anyhow, that's enough of that.
Yung sound energy into
But you get the idea. It's chemical free. It's the sound is only 80 decibels, so it's not super loud. It's probably using very low frequency, like a big diaphragm. Is my guess. Pretty cool. They say it's as loud as a vacuum cleaner.
I want one.
And speaking of vacuum cleaners, did you hear about the vacuum cleaners that were hacked and swearing?
No.
Oh, they're swearing some pretty naughty stuff, I guess. Somebody apparently, according to ABC in Australia, somebody had gone in and hacked the app or done something, and the vacuums were running around people's houses saying naughty things. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And it's why I don't have one. But people were happy that they caught the hacking through. They were more worried, like, because it's got cameras. These vacuums all have cameras, people. All of them do. Do you have one of these?
No, not one of those.
You don't? Does your
No.
Does your mom? Does anybody you know?
I think my mom used to have one until it went down the stairs.
I don't have one. I've heard them. They're really loud. When you watch the TV commercials, they're really quiet. You know, they have the sound cut off. They have a little music playing. No. They're loud. But they do work.
They do.
But I would be happy, too, if it ran around swearing, because then you at least know it's been hacked and they're not using it to spy on people through the camera.
Yeah, it's a nice way of hacking your robot.
And yeah, I'll tell you, there's a lot of, with AI, don't you think there's going to be a lot more hacking because of AI?
Yeah, then we're going to have our own little AI defense bots.
And aren't people using AI to hack, like to find passcodes and so on? Do you think, or no?
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't. Why are you asking your dumb kid?
Well, you don't know. Anyhow, that story really sucked, and let's move on. There's apparently another storm that they're tracking at the Hurricane Center out in the Atlantic Ocean, and this is just a week after Milton went through and obviously caused just billions and billions of dollars of destruction. And this is I don't know why this is up, but that's okay. I know the story. This is a tornado that went through a solar farm before Milton. See, Alex just puts up whatever he thinks I want. He doesn't really know. But this shows you that there's no free lunch. There's no free energy, right?
No.
So imagine the millions of dollars, billions that were spent on this God knows how many acres solar farm, and the tornado just in seconds wiped it all out. Look at that path.
There's some left.
Yeah, that would be you too. That'd be exactly. Dad, good news and bad news. Bad news is tornado took out half of, but there's some left. Jesus. Okay. Maybe they can Elmer glue the other ones together.
Jeez.
So anyhow, that was a solar farm that was hit by a tornado. No, I don't need to do that story. The Europa Clipper. I don't have a picture for this one, so you're good, Alex. The Europa Clipper has launched a spacecraft and is traveling to Jupiter's icy moon to look for life, signs of life. And it's going to take, 6 years to get there? How old are you going to be in 6 years? Don't tell me. You'll get hacked.
58.
You'll be pushing 50.
Yeah.
By the time this thing gets to Jupiter's moon. And it's called the Europa Clipper. And of course, it's going aboard the SpaceX Falcon.
Ooh. Sounds fancy.
Yep. And then I was going to go into the solar farm that got wiped out, but Alex kind of skipped ahead. Skip story. Illinois police successfully use a GPS dart during a high-speed chase. Dingo. So don't break the law. You might get one of these darts up your butt with a barb on it.
Ouch.
I would imagine that thing shoots at high speed if it's going through metal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you don't want to get
training
one of them in your butt.
only. It says Illinois police successfully used a GPS dart during a chase. Police in Oak Brook, Illinois, are doing a bit of a victory lap after they successfully used a GPS dart to track some fleeing suspects. So there we go. Don't break the law. What are you going to do?
Do not break the law.
No, don't break the law. It's been kind of a big week in UFOs. And a lot of people are still not aware of this, but did you know there was a 17-day invasion over Langley Air Force Base by like over a dozen drones, what they're calling drones, or UFOs. This is kind of a controversy. But it was a 17-day incursion, and our government did nothing. I want you to think about that. It's a no-fly zone. Over 17 days, they had over 12 of these, and they're calling them UASs. Do you know what a UAS is?
Unauthorized aerial systems?
Yes, Alex, that is correct. Thank you for that. That's the new buzz phrase. It's an aerial system. So next time you see a UFO landing here, it's that's a damn nice aerial system right there.
Are they trying to make it hard to Google? Like they just keep changing the names for these things?
God, with all these acronyms and anyhow, what kills me is they're just allowing this to happen. more likely than not, they're from, some other country, right?
Yeah, they may be.
I mean, that's where the SEAL Team 6 houses at Langley. And they're just letting them with complete autonomy. They didn't try to shoot one down, didn't try to capture any. What in the world is going on? Why are we allowing this? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Doesn't.
So, yeah, even reporters ask, why didn't we shoot him down? And it says basically, well, what do they say? Even if they're enemy drones, as some call them, we don't really have authorized, we're not really authorized to do anything. And I'm like, oh my God, that sure sounds limp to me. Anyhow, can't believe it. And there were other incursions at other bases, including ones in Nevada. So whether they're intelligence gathering or intimidation, you'd think you'd want to blast them out of the sky, right? Or civilian.
Fire away.
Or from another world.
Get them out of there.
Yeah, I would. Let's go ahead and watch video E. Talks more about it.
There's been some new reporting around the 2023 drone incursion over Langley Air Force Base. Does the DoD have an idea of what objects it might have been?
Thanks so much for the question. So specifically, Langley Air Force Base did experience incursions of unauthorized unmanned aerial systems last year in December 2023. The number of those UAS incursions did fluctuate on any given day, but they didn't appear to exhibit any hostile intent. It's something that we, have kept our eye on, but don't have more to provide on that.
So why couldn't the Air Force shoot down these drones if they were coming towards the base, over the base, if they were surveilling, which it proved that when one went down on January 5th, it was found to have video surveilling a sensitive base. Why couldn't they shoot them down? The Air Force can shoot down Cessnas if they get close to sensitive facilities in Washington, New York.
So the commander or any commander of any base has the authority necessary to protect forces, to protect facilities, infrastructure, and capability there. So I'm not aware that they did not have any authority to shoot it down or to shoot anything down. I do know that with all of these incursions, given that it's, on U.S. soil, there is another level of coordination within the interagency that needs to take place. But the commander absolutely had his or her authorities to engage any systems that
unbelievable, isn't it?
Would surveillance or intelligence gathering be
That's enough.
the base?
We got the idea. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that they didn't do anything.
And I think that's just that information came from the government, that apparently one hit a tree or something. They found out it was taking photos of the base. But, it's like, You know
So
what I
it
mean?
sounds
It's
like we're not getting the
not
whole
buying it.
story.
The whole
Yeah.
thing smacks of
Smells.
yeah, you're not kidding. And then yet another secret buzz phrase about a hidden government program called Immaculate Constellation. You heard about that before
No.
tonight? No?
What is it?
And that's the program to recover downed UFOs. Well, if you're not going to down them, they're over.
Are you going to recover them?
What do you need that for? So apparently this program is to recover downed UFOs and reverse engineer them. And apparently that's been leaked out by some vetted government, a new vetted government whistleblower.
Now, is this down UFOs, UAPs, UASs?
I don't. It's UFOs is what it says.
That's what it should be, right?
Yeah, UFO. Oh my God. So here we go. There's another clip. Go ahead and play that.
A new whistleblower has come forward with a written report that this person has shared with some members of Congress and with me, and the report is quite extraordinary. It says that there is an unacknowledged special access program called Immaculate Constellation, which is the parent program, is the language used for UAP crash retrieval, reverse engineering, and apparently a very large database of high quality photographs, videos, infrared videos, apparently much more sophisticated documentation of many more UAP encounters than have been released.
Enough of that.
Enough of that.
Immaculate Constellation.
It's quite the buzz.
Who comes up with these names? The same guy that develops the names for the e-bikes.
that same guy.
The same guy. I just, oh my God. So I put a new faucet in my house yesterday. I had a plumber come out and put it in. I can't even, I'm not even allowed to cook hard-boiled eggs anymore, let alone put a new faucet in. So I call a plumber. He comes out. He lives in the neighborhood. Great guy. And he sees my faucet I bought. What model do you think I bought? Most people buy Delta or Moen. I bought a Temu knockoff one called Wee Wee.
Wee Wee.
That's my faucet name, Wee Wee.
Beautiful.
Who comes up with these names?
It sounds like the
Wee Wee.
perfect brand name.
So he looks at it and he goes, whoa, what's that made out of? I said, recycled RVs. So just put it in, don't ask questions. And the thing's actually beautiful. It's a knockoff of a $400.
I've always thought you had a nice wee wee.
Yeah. Well, now you can say that when you come over. But the thing is beautiful. I'm telling you, it is. It's gorgeous. You would not know it by looking at it. It's a knockoff of a knockoff.
It's a knockoff wee wee.
The thing, look, it was $49 on Amazon minus a coupon.
You got your
so
wee wee.
Probably came to like
coupon.
$36 free shipping.
Yeah.
And the guy put it in. He said, no, the thing was probably one of the easiest ones he's ever put in because the hoses were the right length. He said, that was great. Didn't have to use one tool to put it on. So why did I wasted money on him? See, I kept the money going though. I paid the plumber.
So the wee wee fit.
Wee wee fit perfect. It's in there. You know, I'll snap a picture of the wee wee next show. Everybody wants to see my wee wee. I'll take a picture of it and post it up here.
You're gonna post a picture of your wee wee?
You should get one, Alex. I guarantee it's better than what you got in your house. Oh my God. All right, now where am I at? I lost all my okay. We did that. Oh, and then on Sunday morning, did you hear about this?
What?
Literally hundreds and hundreds of videos were going up every minute about this UFO crash in Washington, D.C., or right on the border of Virginia and Washington, D.C. Did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't? Just search up. We'll play a video, but just search up Washington, D.C. UFO crash. And there's so many videos. It's insane. People started seeing things smoking and sparking in North Carolina. And then over every state on its way to D.C. And apparently people were describing it biggest aircraft they had ever seen.
Jeez. So just huge.
You didn't know anything about this?
No.
I bet nobody did. Go ahead and play it.
So an update on the thought that I had about the situation last night when I heard that loud crashing noise and I went outside and saw all this. I keep getting comments like the one up here, and I'm glad that other people heard this sound because
I watched live video of the police racing towards this.
The comments are saying
area.
They heard a crash in Maryland. They're hearing crashes in New Jersey, and they're seeing and hearing crashes in North Carolina. But that's kind of far apart. So I'm wondering, like, what happened so big that we heard it in these different areas, or was it multiple crashes? Another concerning thing is still have not seen anything on the news when I know for a fact there was police activity going in that direction, sending additional units till 3 a.m. So would someone tell me what the heck's going on here, or is this like the most blatant, sloppiest cover up we've seen.
Enough of that.
Enough of that.
Remember when people would say, well, I'll believe it when they land on the White House lawn? You remember that?
Yes.
Stanton Friedman used to tell me that all the time.
Funny guy.
Well, maybe they did. All right, on a lighter side. You ready for a bad dad joke?
Yes.
Really bad. Super bad. Okay, why did the whale blush?
Why?
See, you're doing that. Why did the whale blush?
Why did he blush?
Because he saw the ocean's bottom. That's bad. That was just a warm up. Go ahead and play the next video. We don't need a bumper.
I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went, and then it dawned on me.
Yeah. One time I was so hungry I ate a giant clock. It was time consuming.
I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went.
Okay. That was cute.
Yeah. That was bad. All right. Our guest, Chris Reinhardt, is in the back room. He has been researching for many years, and I can attest that he has more Bigfoot hunting gear on than anybody else on the planet. I'll test it's been seen by me.
He has.
Nod your head, Chris. I see him. Yep. He's like, yep. He does. It's insane. You could come up with like 12 different things for one category and he'd have all 12 of them.
All of them.
And know how to use them. So anyhow, but he resides out east. I'm not going to give away exact. If he wants to tell people where he lives, that's fine. But he's accompanied me twice now to Snowgrove. Like, unlike you, Alex, that have accompanied me 0 times.
Yes, me, the coward.
Yeah, I think me and Chris and everybody was a little cowardly on that last trip. I will tell you why. But anyhow, and then he has a show on the Untold Radio Network called Discover Sasquatch. He will be returning this fall, and let's welcome Chris Reinhardt. Sometimes we call him OG.
OG.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Chris.
Hey,
I didn't even need to say your podcast name because there it is.
There it is.
Looking sharp.
All right, Chris. We want to hear out of your mouth what exactly went down when we drove up on the way to Snowgrove on that one road, that 100 mile. It's about a 100-mile stretch, isn't it?
It's a long way.
Yeah, there's not one gas station. There's not one home. Just through the forest. And it's even when you get through that, you're only about halfway to the floodplain base. But we both saw something weird on the way up there. Then
very strange. And whoops, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you go ahead and you tell it.
All right. So we didn't know, number one, we both didn't know that it happened to each other until after Doug had his sighting of what he saw.
Yeah, and I called you. Yeah.
On the way, I'm looking out and I'm in the back seat and I'm looking up to the right and I'm looking up in the air and there's a raven, a crow raven frozen, like a glitch frozen, like on this, like it was frozen in the air. It was solid. It wasn't, I was looking for it to be, how it catches, they can catch the wind and, just hover. It wasn't, it was just frozen. And we drove up to it. And as soon as we got even with it, it just came back to life. And it flew away. It flew over the car. And I told Adam and Bud, who were in the same car, about it. And then about, 10, 15 more miles up the road, all of a sudden, Doug, we had little walkie-talkie radios. He calls in, he goes, "Did you guys see that?" And we're like, did they answer back? No. What was it? What we were supposed to see? There was a coyote on the side of the road and it was frozen. It wasn't moving. It looked like it was a taxidermy, like a frozen coyote. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Within the same hour, two frozen animals and one in the air, one on the ground. And we both didn't know about what happened with each other until, after they saw the coyote. What the heck does that? What
I
is
know.
that?
What are the chances of us both seeing a frozen animal within that time span?
Right.
And
So I was
didn't
on
know
Dave Scott. Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't know you guys had seen anything, and you didn't know I did. And I've never seen light. It was just like it was taxidermy. It was right on the white line, just frozen.
Yeah, they didn't move. And this thing was just sitting in the air, and you could see the feathers like moving with the wind, but it wasn't outstretched. It was like on a turn. It was weird. So I was on Dave Scott last night, and I told him about it. He says, "You're not going to believe this," but he lives up in Canada. He goes, a couple years back, there was a big to-do about two frozen crows in the air. It was like on their national television. People were coming and they were showing it. There's video footage of the frozen crows up. I looked it up today. It was pretty crazy. Frozen crows in the air, just like I saw up in Canada.
People can say, well, there was wind blowing them. There was no wind that day. It was just beautiful.
Right. And I looked for that. You got to, you always have to do your due diligence and try and debunk it before you can even say that what it was. And that thing was not hovering. It wasn't gliding. It was just stuck.
And it's the same exact area that you and Bud had a weird experience.
Right. The year before we saw that tree.
Year before.
That tree was just being bent over like a hurricane wind was nailing it back and forth like that.
Yeah, you guys mentioned the tip almost touching the ground.
Right. Yeah, that's a strange stretch up there. There's nothing for miles and miles, and except for those little rock stacks. I mean, the guys that work on the highway could obviously make them, and hikers could obviously, but hundreds of them of rock stacks on this outstretched road in the middle of nowhere. It's a pretty wild ride.
I think they call those the Nook Shooks, I believe. But yeah, there was a lot of those. We didn't see any moose this year.
Oh, we saw one up on the lake.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, after you guys, I think it was the second day before we left. We tried to find Lost Lake by ourselves, and we found another little creek or whatever you want to say, and we followed it. And we came around the corner, and all of a sudden, he was big moose. And all of a sudden, he just plopped himself in the water and trotted away. Boom, boom, boom. And when we got to where he was, the water had to be about 4 feet deep, and he was knee deep. So his knees were like 4 feet high. Big.
Okay. Well, what Alex put up Flat Rockland's comment. Did he see something?
Which one?
So
had to restart the van.
Maybe
I'm in traffic right now.
Okay.
Camera just froze up.
His camera froze. Okay.
Just in traffic. Pay attention to where you're driving.
Yeah. Don't watch us. Just drive.
You can listen.
Yeah. Just drive flat. Don't look at us.
Anyhow, pretty interesting trip this time for sure.
So then we get up there. And by the way, Chris, I didn't have a wet sleeping bag this year. Because last year, Joe had put my sleeping bag next to the cooler that leaked, which I knew leaked, and completely on this 12-hour drive, soaked my sleeping bag. So I had a wet sleeping bag damn near the whole trip last year. But this year we get up there, it's nice. We get up early in the morning on time. We got to go pay our bill. And what happened?
And we find out that the cabin was broken into again.
Yeah.
Demolished, ripped apart, torn apart. And when we got up there, of course, we investigated it, and no claw marks, no nail marks, no scratches, just things torn, like doors just torn right off the cabinets. The island moved 6 weeks, I think, 6 to 8 weeks earlier before we got up there.
Something like that, yeah.
And then they fixed it all up, and then a tree was either pushed or fell on top of the cabin like the day after they got finished doing it.
Yeah, it was funny too, because everybody's like, you guys going to Snell Grove, or where are we taking you guys?
Right.
Like, it was funny. The pilot, what's his name again? The French pilot.
Guy.
He goes, because he goes, where am I flying you guys to? And we tell him Snell, and he goes, and then I don't know, it was you or Adam said, oh yeah, and we heard the cabin was all attacked and wrecked. He goes, yeah, but that's not the whole story.
Right.
And then he's the one that showed us the photo of the cabin with the tree on it.
Yeah, and the record, yeah, and they went through the glass this year. So now that's brand new up there. They've never gone through the glass, and they went right through. And
that was before you guys got there, so I'm sure that put you on edge.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So what the crazy part about that is when we're thinking up there, because you got plenty of time to think up there, because it's either fish, think, or wait for Sasquatch to come get you. That's the three things you do while you're up there. They use the same door. They went in that same door. There's big glass sliding doors out in front of this cabin. There's big windows on the side of the sliding glass doors.
Yep.
They could have went in any of those windows. They chose to go through that door, the same door they've gone through before.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. And now that door is gone. They had to replace the door.
Yeah.
And that's how bad it got wrecked.
Well, then we get there. The day one was pretty crazy. We get there. And I walked right, I took my duffel bag up, set it up on the porch, and walked right to those two doors, the old doors. Then I start yelling for Chris to come look. And there was a beautiful, what looks like, and I'm going to send it off. It looks like a Bigfoot hair. It's got a tapered end. Doesn't look like it has a medulla. It's wavy, perfect length. Stuck right on the hinge, and of course Chris and I collected it. We sterilized everything and got it all collected.
It actually looked just like the hair that Dr. Meldrum took off when they took the hair off that board.
Yeah,
almost
you're
the
right.
same exact color.
Yeah,
Yep.
kind of a blondish color. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So and then and then just minutes after that, I was sitting at the picnic table. Joe had his back turned, and a big bear comes right behind Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. He came around a couple times, got him on trail camera, but he didn't really stick around too much once, tried to get the garbage one time, and then that was it, really. He never came back.
He kind of just passed through and left.
Right.
But he was a big bear from what I've normally seen up there. Normally they're really little. It's kind of the edge of their range, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see a black bear up that high, far up.
No, Lynn Rogers said it's right literally at the line where there just is. And we had transfers into polar bears. And so black bears don't thrive up there. They just don't.
We got to test some equipment. We got to test some new inventions. We got to test the Adams what's the name of it? I can't think of it off the top of my head. His light. What's the name of the light?
The ambush.
The ambush. Yes. We got to test that thing. Worked like a charm. Turns on, off all by itself. Heat activated. Didn't catch anything, but tested that out. And Bud tested a few things that he wanted to do, and we tested out if we could get internet up there and signal with the
Starlink. Yeah.
Starlink, and that worked like a charm too. And I think that's a big tool as we move forward, that the Starlink should be more incorporated into people's backpacks, because they have backpack version that can just strap right to your backpack and you can bring it with you.
Last week, that's what we talked about, is just how Starlink is going to change Bigfoot research. It really is, because you can now, get internet. If you can get internet, you can do live monitoring of cameras, and you can do a lot of really cool things.
We actually got to one night. We actually got to monitor with Starlink with one of Adam's traps across the pond. We were watching those cameras, and that's pretty good chunk of ways. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, it's a good over 100 yards away through the water across where they set it up, and we were watching them from the cabin.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you talking about that little bay?
Yeah, that little bay where he set it up. Yep, we could watch the cameras right next to Bud's little area that he got the bald eagles. That was a pretty good camera shot too that Bud got.
Well, then Starlink allowed us to monitor our own cameras live, right? Other cameras we had placed and hidden with both netting that Chris brought up, EMF netting to block any electrical signals.
Right.
Camouflage on top of that, of natural foliage, blah, blah, blah. And we're listening to cameras live. I think it was on what, night 3?
Yeah.
Was that night 3?
I'll watch it. You could watch them right from your room.
And I hear a rock hit one of the cameras. And I'm like, hey, quiet. And all of a sudden we hear a voice come over the camera and clears a bell. Don't know what it says. And of course, right up there, I sent it to David Ellis. And David is, I think, in chat here. Correct? Yeah, he's here. I see him. And David found really interesting results on that. And of course, Chris thought, well, maybe it's an EVP of some sort. People have died up there. Blah, blah, blah. Or it could be a Bigfoot. But it's got the missing fundamentals of a Bigfoot that David
and
finds.
For us
with
to hear it,
other-
all 5 of us to hear it at the same time was pretty amazing.
It was amazing. And then the weird part is Adam had hit record by accident.
Right.
It would have been recorded on the card, but we didn't have to search for it because he had hit the record button by accident because I handed him my phone where I was, listening where the sound came through. And then we heard it, and it was like some deep kind of male voice that sounded somewhat Native American to me.
Right.
And David thinks it says, I saw switch ya or something like that. It's weird.
Right. I think it sounds to me like it says, I'll talk with you.
Yeah. But there's no dude up there with an East Coast accent.
No. Like a Native American, like I'll talk with you. You know what I mean? Like an accent or a native that would have, and I'll talk with you, just that type of thing. So, and then Bud had his name whispered in his ear 3 times. Hey, Bud.
Yeah.
Hi,
Can you
Bud.
tell us about that?
Yeah. He's just sitting there. He's like, did you guys hear that? And we're like, no. He goes, something just whispered in my ear 3 times my name.
And when did that happen? During the day?
I can't. Yeah, it was like one afternoon. I can't quite remember when it was, but I remember it happened. That's for sure.
Huh.
So it was an interesting trip this time, and there was a lot of lights. We all witnessed lights out on the lake. This is the first time I ever saw them.
Not me.
Right? Yeah, you were the one. That's right, because you had your back turned when Adam and Joe saw theirs out that window. You just turned your back to it. Like red, what they said, they seen the red lights like I saw out that island, like you guys saw before.
Yes, like I saw many years ago on that little island. I saw a red light rise up. So did Joe, and so did my son, and then come my Josh, Alex's older brother, and then go back down. Yeah, and that's when my son goes to me. He goes, "Now I get why you come up here so much."
Right. Yeah, it's a beautiful. I was talking about it last night a little bit, and just saying that you search for noise up there. You're looking for light. When it gets dark, it's dark. You don't have street lamps. You don't have cities. You don't have any artificial light anywhere. You have the moon, the stars, granted, but you're searching for that because you're so used to it up there. Any noise up there, that it's not a human. So anything that goes on, you have to think what it could be for sure. I mean, that's what that place eliminates is human contact, because there's none up there. There's nobody up there, and it's gorgeous, and it's just a lovely. If you get a chance to get up there ever, it's a great place to go visit.
All right, Chris. We're gonna get back to Bigfoot. I want to play some clips. And under our little section called You Be the Judge, and we're going to be looking for your input, Alex's input on these clips. Alex, are you ready?
Untold Radio AM presents You Be the Judge. Is this strange video clip real Or is it fake? Or could it just be a simple misidentification? What do you think?
All right. Let's go ahead and play this. What clip is this? Clip AJ?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and play it.
The Pentagon tracked the Alaska object, confirmed that it was a silver cylindrical UAP and not a balloon. The President, Joe Biden, ordered the shoot done, and multiple assets were involved with the recovery. HC-130, F-16s for cover, and OGA black helicopters. That's a direct quote from somebody who has a source in the Pentagon, and he says that he is...
All right, that's enough. We don't need to play anymore. The reason, what I want to talk about is you saw the photos of that thing in the snow, right? Did you study that? Can you just put that up just and freeze it? Pause it right on that close-up picture.
Yeah, let's see if I can.
Yep, yeah, see if you can find it, and then just pause it when it shows the close-up.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, that was it. Yep, right there. All right. It looks like the damn thing was painted.
Yeah.
The paint's coming off. So I went, that can't be what they're talking about. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
What do you think it is, guys?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could be a propane gas, tube.
Yeah, well, it looks like one of those Tic Tacs or Tic Tac,
It
whatever
does.
they call them.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. It does fit that.
It also looks like it could be from the Star Wars movies too. It looks like when they're on that planet with the snow and everything. That's what all their equipment looked like. The same paint job.
Yeah. Crappy paint job.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
So the question is, do you think that is a real UAP, or is that just something misidentified that some dude on TikTok threw in there? And I don't have the answer, but I'm curious what you guys think. And certainly put your comments in the chat and the comments if you want. What do you think, Chris?
I go B. I don't think it's real. I think it's
Okay.
I don't think that picture would get out like that of it and without it being buried quickly if it was a real UAP or UFO.
Kind of looks like your Toyota, Alex.
At this point.
It's Alex's Toyota in a bit. What do you think, Alex?
Maybe it's like a prop, like the real one is. They never shared it. You know what I mean? Like they had to release something. So it's
you bring in the decoy.
Yeah, like Chris mentioned like Star Wars or whatever. Like they took like essentially a movie prop and said, "Well, this is what it was." And
yeah. Well, I'd love to hear in the comments, what you think this object is. Can you blow it up any bigger?
No,
maybe not.
Not movie stuff.
Okay. Next.
It almost looks like the underbelly of a plane that crashed. The wings are gone. It's the front end of the plane. It's like the underbelly of a plane.
Something don't look right. Usually I just kind of get that feeling like, oh, damn, that's real. And I just kind of get that feeling like, I think the story is real. You remember the story where they were shooting down like balloons all over the country? Remember that? It was like a year ago, 2 years ago. Remember the balloon that floated across the whole country?
Yep.
And then one went down. Apparently, they ordered one shot down in Alaska, and this is what supposedly that is. But anyhow, let's move on. Clip BJ. So let's play clip B.
This is a ring video of these little light being looking things that everybody keeps tagging me. I tried to record this with this video in the background so I could talk about it while it was on the screen, and it will not let me. The screen keeps going black. So I'm going to talk about it now, and then I'm going to post the video right after this, and you're going to watch it and tell me what you think in the comments. So in the video you're about to see, this little group of little lights goes from the left all the way over to the right. The ring camera recognizes it because it says, "Hello, you're being recorded," which I think was the creepiest part. And it keeps moving around and moving around. Now, there are a bunch of people that are saying that these are just cobwebs with light shining on them. I don't think so. Some people are saying fairies, and then some other people are saying a plasma soul group. I don't know what that is. I tried Googling it. Of course, it didn't come up. I tried looking on TikTok. I really didn't get a definitive answer. So does anybody know what a plasma soul group is? Please let me know in the comments. And also watch this and let me know, what do you think this
She
is?
needs to be an auctioneer.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Kind of weird. All right. What do you think it is? Do you think it's a spider web with dew on it? Little entities? Light beams? What do you guys think? Chris?
Right. Me first. Remember this past winter, I sent you that clip from my buddy's ring cam front, and it was the 6 lights or the 4 lights that came up and did the same exact thing, went right up to the ring camera, and then all of a sudden disappeared and shot up to the sky.
Yeah.
That's a common thing, because I think Adam just sent me a recording.
Yeah, did you get that from Adam to his brother?
Yeah.
And
my
that
buddy right here-
even shut the IR lights off, which was weird, and turned the color cam on.
Right. And it's not, and
so it was
inside
interesting.
those lights, they don't have that many lights inside, so that doesn't even match up. So what's going on with the ring cameras?
Well, normally for a spider web to show up on a ring camera, it's got to be really close. So that looks kind of like it's far away, but I don't know. So what do you think, Chris?
I think there's something going on with it, because there's many of cases filmed. What it is, I don't know, but I think something's attracting whatever to the ring cameras, and it's happening all over the place.
Sly Fox says it's not a web. Eric Sorensen says spider web. Spider webs can do some weird things. They can dangle, and I mean they can. New York Todd says it appears to be 2-dimensional. And
it does look 2-dimensional. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it does. It kind of got a swimming action.
Looks flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I'm not going to give my opinion, but it's, I've listed all the possibilities. But if I was a betting guy and I had to bet, I would just say, well, because it's the safe thing to say.
All right. Well, the one I got on my phone is wintertime. So a chance of the spider web being in New England in the wintertime floating through the air is kind of slim to none.
But they can break off. They can stay intact for years.
Right. The next question I got is, why are they attracted to the ring lights? If it's a spider web, why are they all flying to these ring lights and then checking them out, setting off like he said, setting off the greeting, whatever that greeting is? I'm recording hello, and then all of a sudden taking off and up into the sky. I mean,
so let me rephrase my answer. I think there's a chance at something, because IR lights can see things that we probably can't.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was a betting guy and I had to make a bet, I had to lay $100 bill down, and then the answer would, the truth would come to me, I would put my money on spiderweb, even though I might be wrong and lose my bet. So, all right, next one. Clip CJ. Sound is fine. Go ahead and play it.
What did I just record?
So these sparker things. There it goes. Adam finally saw one of these things too up north. And I've seen these up close. I've seen them within 6 feet away. It's pretty amazing. They had one come right over the top of my windshield, and it was changing colors, and then went into the woods, but it had sparks coming off it like a Buck Rogers. Me and Yvette both saw it. So I don't know what they are. There we go. What do y'all think?
Well, good eyewitness testimony. I mean, I have to say it's real, but what it is, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's made up or CGI
What
or
did I just record?
AI. What do you think, Alex? Do you think it's real, Chris, but you don't know what it is?
Yeah. Same with me. It looks pretty real. I don't know. It looks like it's on fire.
Yeah, it looks like it's moving with. It's deliberately moving.
Yeah.
It's not like a bottle rocket or a
No,
fireworks. Or,
no. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, seems like it's got some intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Moving
Let's
like
see
a
what
kite would, but kites don't fly with fire on them.
No.
Looks like a powered parachute. Eric, yeah, you could be right with that guy with like fireworks on his, strapped to his leg. Elon Musk car falling from space.
How about that the other
Bingo.
day? Yesterday? That was incredible.
What?
Catching that rocket.
Oh, that thing where they grab the.
Oh,
yeah,
my
actually, we're going to get to that in a minute. I have a video of it. It's really amazing.
That was crazy.
Spider light. Oh, yeah, we're talking about the other one. Steve says spider webs are obviously common near porch lights. Yep. Damn right. Damn right. Okay, so that one's real, but we don't have no idea what it is. Could be just a guy with a, filming a guy with a power parachute. Although I don't see a power parachute, all I see is the sparking. So I think you're wrong, Eric. Clip DJ. This one looks like a TR3B, if you know what those are, those triangles. And is this just CGI? Is it just AI? Or is it real? Go ahead and play it. You heard the dog barking? With no audio from the filmmaker, which is odd.
Right. You're
That's
not
a
saying
red
anything.
flag. Big red flag for me.
It looks very tiny to me. It's not like a huge craft or anything. It looks like
Could you duplicate this in AI, Alex? Pretty easy.
I think it could be done. Not to say it's not real, but I think
It's definitely got
be
the motion tracking added.
But I think your red flag of they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
They're not, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah,
Come over here.
exactly.
It's like just dead silent.
right, but look at the
Yeah.
size of it too above the trees. It's not that big.
Yeah. But I really think the silence tells a lot because you can't, it's really hard to fake excitement. You can try, but people are not actors, haven't been trained to fool people.
Well, if you really if you saw that yourself, you're not going to just quietly look at it. I'm going to be panicking.
Right. Most of the time, you don't even think about filming it. You're just sitting there watching. Oh my God,
Right.
look at that! You don't even think about taking your
Drop
camera
your
out.
phone on the pavement.
Yeah.
So many sightings of Bigfoot. Why didn't you take your camera out? Well, that's the last thing you're thinking about when you got a creature.
Right? You're in shock.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, clip. Okay, so we all agree that's fake, I think. Right?
It's just it could be real, but I think your red flag.
Well, yeah, there's never a way to ever know 100%, but you got to go on a, know, if you were a bet man, where would you put your money? Real or fake? I'd put it on fake. I'd probably win.
I go fake.
Okay, we're all in agreement. And I think everybody in chat agreed too. It's probably fake. Now this one's interesting because there's a piece of NASA footage that shows something almost exact to this that they filmed back in the 60s. But go ahead and play this clip. Yeah, it's a short clip.
I don't know what to make of that.
It's pretty weird. There has been things filmed like it, but I don't know.
Could be real. What do you think, Chris?
I don't know. It's just
it's pretty weird.
It's just wish we had more context, you know. Where was it filmed?
Yeah, exactly. There's no context. Nothing.
They just had that jellyfish like this last summer, like last year, wasn't it? Down in Florida or somewhere that was going across a military base.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that was. I think that was Afghanistan.
So
in one of our bases.
They're
But
obviously
it was filmed by. Yeah, it was filmed by one of our surveillance craft. But I don't know. No idea. But if I was betting, I'd probably say fake again. It's just sad.
Yeah, it looks too mechanical to me to be. If it would, I'm going to go fake on it too.
There are things that do look like this. I know that NASA one's real as hell. It's just a ball that kind of comes up, perfect ball, and then it sprouts these legs that look kind of like that. And I do believe there could be creatures out in space that, maybe are akin to just like fish. They're intelligent, but how intelligent is a sunfish, right? Kind of like that. Just, creatures trying to make a living in the kind of outer atmosphere. So, all right, that's enough of that crap. We're done.
Right. You don't play the bumper again? You only play it at the beginning? You don't play it at the end too?
Untold Radio AM presents You Be the Judge. Is this strange video clip real, or is it fake? Or could it just be a simple misidentification? What do you think?
Is that how it should be done, Chris?
Thanks, Chris, for making Alex torture me.
No, I know how much Doug loves the bumper, so that's why I said it.
Okay. So we got word of the week.
Word of the week. Yes.
The new word of the week is sock sliver.
Sock sliver.
Sock
And it's funny too because Eric was over at my house and he had one. That's where I got the idea. But I've had them. You pick up something sharp, like you're like, I'm too lazy to put my shoes on. I want to go grab the mail. You pick up a little stick or a little sliver, but it stays in your sock, and it just finally gets in the right angle where you step and it starts poking you, and then haven't you ever had that?
Yes, that happened to me yesterday.
Oh, it did? Are you lying?
What, me?
Yeah.
No, it was like a little piece of plastic or something.
In your sock?
Yes.
Oh. I nailed it. Sock
You
sliver.
nailed it.
Well, there's no word for those.
There isn't.
I had to make it up. But there was one time I was doing wiring, and I cut some copper wire, and all the little strands went on the ground in my workshop. And of course, I walked barefoot and picked up a whole bunch of sock slivers. And for like weeks, I'm picking these things out of my sock. Well, you wash them and then you wear them again, and all of a sudden, it gets at the right angle and it starts jabbing you. It doesn't go in your foot, but it pokes you. So that's a sock sliver. Didn't you have one, Eric? Eric came over and got a sock sliver. Metal splinter. Yeah, but it went to your sock. So you had a sock splinter. So Eric would call them sock splinters, not sock sliver. Alex is just looking at me. My dad's insane. What time is it? All right, let's do trivia quick, and then we're just going to talk Bigfoot. Chris?
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't. You come across as a cool guy, someone who's the opposite.
Let's really stump Alex.
You cut me off again, Alex.
I did. Perfect timing.
Yeah, right in mid talk. Okay. It's on teeth. We're gonna play trivia on teeth, Chris. Do you know anything about teeth?
Not much.
Not much. Wow, good. So when you
I
beat
have
Alex,
some.
everybody can go. Do you know anything about teeth, Alex?
No.
Nothing?
No, they need to be brushed.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
about it.
Once a week.
All right. The average person.
Once a week. Nice.
The
Little
average
gritty.
person. The average person spends 28 or 38 full days brushing their teeth in their lifetime. Think about that. Just 24 hours a day.
I'm only up to 2.
Is it 28 days or is it 38 days by the time you die?
38.
38? What do you say, Chris? 28 or 38?
I'm going 38 too.
All right. You both got it right. Hang on. I'm going to keep it.
All right. Do I get a Halloween treat?
Nope. You both got it right. Okay.
Travel size Colgate.
Yeah. The first toothbrush was invented in 1498, or was it 1525? The first commercial toothbrush. God knows what people did before then. Come on. Go, Chris.
1498.
1498 for
I'm
Alex.
going to 15.
1525. Okay, Alex, you're one ahead of Chris.
Right.
It was 1498. It was invented
Come on, Chris. How
by
could
a
you not know
Chinese
that?
dentist. It was made of hog bristles.
That
Nice.
sounds clean.
And that, no, you're not going to be able to unthink that one. Hog bristles.
That had to hurt.
Yeah,
And
no,
hog hair is tough, man. It's rough.
gross. All right.
Can you still buy them?
The first dental floss was made from thin leather strips in 1815 or silk thread.
Silk thread.
Silk thread, Alex says, or thin leather.
Can you repeat the question again?
First dental floss. When was it or what was it made out of? No cheating. Look forward.
No, I got nothing. What were the two choices?
Oh my God. Third time. The first dental floss was made from either silk thread or thin leather strips.
I'm going leather strips.
In 1815. Alex? Silk or leather?
Silk.
The correct answer is silk thread.
Oh, you're killing me, kid.
Silk thread was used because it was strong, didn't break easy, and people liked it because it was easy to use and helped keep their teeth clean. You're 2 ahead, Alex. That could change.
Killing me.
That'll change quick.
The enamel on your teeth is as hard as a rhinoceros's tooth. True or false?
False.
True.
I heard trolls. No, true or false?
False.
True.
False. I'm saying false.
Okay, you're saying false. Alex, you're saying true.
True.
Alex, you're pulling ahead, man. It's true. Same hardness as a rhinoceros tooth. Okay.
Alex wants to be a dentist.
Actually, people call him that, don't they? Because he reminds people of the guy in Hangover.
Hermie from Rudolph.
Remember, Alex? They call you.
Why
that.
weren't you at elf practice? Don't you want to learn how to wiggle your ears and say hee hee ho ho just like all the other elves?
Okay. Teeth are the only bones in your body that you can see. True or false? Teeth are the only bones in your body that you can see. True or false?
True?
I'm going true on that one too.
All right, you're both right.
Right.
And I suppose they should be looking at other people too. Alex?
Yeah.
I said, I suppose we should be looking at other people's answers too in the chat.
Yes. False.
Huh?
False. False.
Didn't ask a question. I said you could put up some of their answers.
Okay.
There we go. So people can have some credit. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
You can lose up to 1/3 or 1/4 of your total bone mass in your body. Or no. Sorry, I had to correct myself. In your jaw if you don't take care of your teeth. Is it 1/3 or 1/4 of the bone mass in your jaw can be lost if you don't take care of your teeth?
I'm going 1/4.
Yes. 1/4.
Is that right?
Yes.
You're both wrong. It's 1/3.
Oh, no.
You can lose up to 1/3 of your bone mass.
It's 1/3
of your jaw.
There you
Maintaining bone mass in your jaw is crucial for a healthy smile. And here's one amazing
Boy, look at all them teeth.
fact about teeth. Brushing regularly can help prevent significant bone loss. Okay. All right. Tooth decay is the most common chronic disease in children. True or false? Tooth decay is the most common chronic disease in children. True or false?
True.
False.
Alex says true. Chris says false. And Alex, you are right.
Phew. Good thing we
So
ain't
it's
playing
now,
football.
just so you know, Chris, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1.
Yeah, he's got a few weeks on me though. I'm this is new at this game.
He's just guessing too, and he's just been lucky.
I think he's Googling.
Hey, every once in a while, Chris, a blind squirrel finds a nut.
True.
That's me.
All right, another question. Is it saliva or is it brushing that plays the most important role in keeping your mouth healthy and preventing tooth decay? Is it brushing or saliva?
Saliva.
Brushing.
Once again, Alex, you got it right. Chris, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm rooting for you, Chris.
That's all right. I'm out. How about the audience? They're kicking our butt too.
Let's see here. What else? Just a couple more. Teeth are true white when you're born. True or false?
False.
Alex says false. Chris, what
I'm
do you say?
going false too.
Okay, you're both right. They're slightly yellow because the enamel that protects your teeth is translucent of color. So the inner structure shows right through. All right, teeth have 3 functions. What are they? Can you name them? I'll tell you what, I'll name 2. And then you guys have to name a third one. Chewing food, right, that's the obvious. Help us speak. What's the next one? What do teeth do? 3 things. Chewing food, help us speak, and not bite your brother or anything like that.
Defend yourself.
Smiling. Smile.
Smile? Okay. That's Chris's answer. Alex, what's yours?
Well, I said defense.
Defense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's as good as answer as any. It's make facial expression. So Chris would be right.
Yes.
Defense. Oh my God. Don't even think of that. Cavities are the most common dental problem. True or false? Cavities.
False.
Chris says false. Alex, would say you?
I'd say true.
You're going to say true? Okay. And Chris, why did you say false? Why are cavities not?
I think growing in crooked and
crooked teeth. Yeah, I got you. You would think you would be right, but you're wrong. Cavities are the most common dental problem.
Everybody has that perfect smile, I guess. No one has to go. No one has to go to the get braces.
Is it teeth? Okay. Is it teeth whitening or straightening? Is that the most common cosmetic dental procedure? Teeth whitening or straightening?
Nowadays or
today? Yeah, 2024.
I'm going whitening.
Whitening. What do you think, Alex?
Whitening.
You're both right. It is teeth whitening. Yep. Okay. Some people have teeth that are extra sensitive to cold or hot temperatures. And that condition is called dental hypersensitivity or dental neuropathy.
Dental neuropathy.
That's what you think?
I'm going hypersensitivity.
Chris is right. You're wrong.
Ah.
On the
How
comeback.
dare
Baby.
you.
Comeback.
The comeback kid.
That's right. Just like what's his name? Who's the comeback kid? Who's that actor?
Patty got it right. Sly Fox got it right. Are you putting everybody's answers up? No.
No, because he's on
I
Google.
did. See, there's one right there.
There's your Patty B got it.
See,
Sly
Sly
got it.
And that's it. That's all I've got. So tech breakdown I do want to do real quick. And Chris, I want you to dive in on this. Pretty simple one. I want to do tech breakdown on your eyes. And tech you can apply right to your eyes. You can play the bumper, Alex.
Technological breakdown.
That's my favorite bumper, the technological breakdown. I like that one.
Yeah. Oh, good. All right. So your eyes need help, right? Throw up photo 6. So a lot of people, they wander off into the woods. One, they don't have glasses on, which are really important to protect your eyes when you're walking. How many of you, Chris, how many times you walked in the woods and almost got jabbed your eye out?
Numerous times, but I wear glasses, so I'm lucky. That,
yeah.
okay,
Imagine if you didn't have them on.
Yeah, but if you don't have them on, you're going to get hurt. So you don't wear glasses for that. But a lot of people don't know if you wear slightly tinted like amber brown and you get polarized glasses, it stops all of that horizontal reflected light out of the forest and you can see way deeper into the forest, way better and sharper. So you're going to want tinted glasses. Some say gray does kind of work too for the forest. But it's the polarizing that really is what helps. So nobody thinks about that because, you know, one of the hardest things to do is to look into a forest because of all the shadowing and especially on a sunny day, you've got light coming in from a million different angles and bouncing everywhere. And a lot of people then misidentify, you know, stumps as Bigfoots and, you know, or they don't see something they should. And so all I wanted to get across was just the importance of polarized glasses and the importance of tinting, getting, you know, some of these tints. Go ahead and throw up photo L. A lot of people know about this, but a lot of people don't. As an example, polarized on the right, you can see into the water. On the left, you can't. It was funny because my daughter, AJ, she goes, "Oh my God, I've never tried polarized glasses." And they were on Lake Superior. It was like, whoa, what a difference that makes. So I was like, yeah. It also makes a difference in the woods. It makes a difference doing anything. It'll just help your vision out. Clarifies it, improves the contrast. And that's all they do really is it just takes all this scattered light and it brings it into your eyes only in one direction. So it's not like coming in from 8 million directions. And that's why they polarize like your computer screen is polarized. You knew that, Alex, right?
I did not.
The computer screen you're looking at right now is polarized.
But I didn't know about the lake thing either. That's awesome.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, Well, that's interesting. Yeah, if you go on a lake, wear polarized glasses, you'll see. I mean, it's just like it's like X-ray vision into the water.
They're
It's
huge with
amazing.
fishermen. Fishermen use them all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I think having polarized glasses and trying them out in the forest, and then using you can experiment. I recommend they're only $20. You can get a pair of sunglasses, get a pair of like slightly yellow, and get a pair of like gray or brown and gray, and it will help your forest vision a ton. Protect your eyes, block the UVB, the burning rays that give you cataracts. It'll just really help your eyes out big time. You'll see more and you'll experience more. So sight is important when you're out doing research, right?
Oh yeah, I've had 4 detached retinas.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have, and that's probably what from eye strain, Chris.
I don't know what it was from. The doctor, it's usually from an injury that you suffer, and they still can't figure out why, but it happened. And I wear polarized glasses. My
Oh, you
sunglasses. are
do?
polarized.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good.
It helps my eye out tremendously.
I did not know that. Yeah, it does. It'll help relax your eyes. There's a new type of glass, and we can talk about that next week. And that's neural glasses are a new thing. Neural. It's like one step above polarizing. Okay. Neural glasses. That's coming. That kind of makes your vision almost 3D. But let's see here. Oh, the one tip I do want to say is if you're going to wear glasses for the forest, you're going to want to put them on 30 minutes before you get in the forest. It'll help your eyes adjust and you'll really experience the benefits. And another thing, polarized. Like if you're walking along a riverbank, you're going to see those footprints that may be right like foot into the water. You're going to see those crystal clear where you're going to miss them completely walking along the shore looking for footprints, which is a great place to look for footprints. But often these creatures will walk in the water and leave their footprints in the mud under the water. And polarized glasses will allow you to see them. So it's just another thing in your arsenal. So that's it.
It's a good one.
That's it.
It is.
All right.
Now what?
Technical breakdown.
You like that thing.
You like it.
Should we do? I've got only a few clips, Alex.
Yes,
we should do them.
Let's do them.
We'll do them here. then we're going to talk Bigfoot. All right.
Hold on.
Alex,
Hold on.
You can play the bumper. Play the All right. Clip 1. Where are my dogs? Just go ahead and play it. The sound is fine. Where are my dogs? This is amazing.
That's funny.
And there you go. That's how Bigfoot's hide.
Yes.
And speaking of dogs, we don't need sound on this, but TVs are getting way too high res. We talked about this one other time, but they're getting just off the charts. And this is actually becoming a problem for pet owners. Go ahead and play this. Clip 2.
Chris, look at him. He wants
yeah.
that bacon.
Screen, yeah.
I'm serious. It's becoming a problem because, years ago, TVs weren't that high res. The animals knew it wasn't real life, but now they're like, damn.
It almost looks fake too, some of the pro.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw a high def TV in Vegas at the NAPD show there, and I was like, whoa, it made me kind of sick because it looked too real. And it bothered me actually seeing a high def TV. Now, of course, I'm used to them. All right, clip 3. There, did you know, guys? Okay. There is a dried parasitic insect, and you probably eat these all day, every day. A dried parasitic bug. And they're pretty big, and you eat them every day probably. Go ahead and play clip 3.
Dried parasitic insect that you eat every day. Well, how is that possible? Well, watch closely. If I crush a small pile of these insects, scoop them up, and pour them into a vial of warm water, the water turns a deep red. This is used as a red dye under the names cochineal extract, natural red 4, E120, and carmine color. Carmine color is listed in the ingredients of this candy. So this candy gets its color from crushed up parasitic insects. Guess which of these products have parasitic insects in them?
Oh no. Oh no.
They all do.
All of them. All of them. All of them, Chris.
All right.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I've seen this before. I seen the Into the Hot
I had
Water.
a strawberry frap at Starbucks. Sure crap, that's what they use to color it. Oh. It's kind of gross.
So even in the food that you get, they allow a certain percentage of like rat meat and stuff.
Oh
in
yeah,
burger, and it's just nasty.
Everything's nasty. Everything. Okay, clip 4. Apparently, alligator strolling is kind of a thing, Alex. There's a clip 4 is a strolling alligator. This is Milton has kind of displaced a whole bunch of alligators, and they're strolling everywhere. See, he's strolling, right, Alex?
He's strolling.
He is strolling. That is a strolling alligator. I shine in the woods, so I don't like you guys anymore. Sorry, I didn't mean to gross you out. Okay. Clip 5 is the SpaceX grabbing that booster. That was really amazing. I mean, super amazing. This is where their SpaceX is reusing these boosters. Go ahead and play it. Sound is good.
Oh God! It is hauling. Oh, burning! My God!
Maybe some swearing. I don't know.
Sometime. Oh my God, guys! It looks so small.
I think it's pretty clean.
Yeah, look at this thing coming on. It really is amazing. One goes and comes near this drum while it's shooting fire out of it. Yeah, it's so cool.
Hovering. It's hovering. Oh my God! Holy shit! Do it!
Crazy.
And that's some parallel parking, boys.
Do you think that there's a magnet on that thing? The way that just did you see how it stopped at the bottom? It just like froze and then just carefully glided itself in, like it was eased in like your car.
I don't know.
It was amazing. Whatever.
It really is amazing.
Whoever did that is just amazing.
I think there's just those little jets on the side, and it just knows which one because they obviously know its position. Yeah, there's some technology coming very quickly down the pike, to where he's going to release that robot for sale. Literally, Alex, you could get one within a month. That will clean your house and do everything, go up the stairs, talk to you just like a human. This is the future is starting to finally come. And, so far, the future has been very disappointed because I remember talking about the future when I was a little kid going, yeah, when I'm 30, I'm going to have a robot and a flying, none of that stuff came true.
Right. Well, if they went with Nikola Tesla way back when, we'd be in a whole different world right now. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
We'd be in a whole different place.
That's true. Yeah, there was a lot of his stuff I know they hid and just didn't do anything with it. Let's see here. Clips. Oh yeah, clip 6. Go ahead and play this because this car, this Audi, comes with a drone launcher. Like you need to see the traffic up ahead, or you want to just survey the woods. Go ahead and play it.
Take a look at the back here, how it's all open. This is the Audi AI Trail. Take a look at these tires here, special off-road tires. And then take a look up here. These are drones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have spotlights. The drones will follow you the whole way, so it lights up the forest or wherever you are. Look at that. You've got hammock seats. Really comfy. Got a phone with me. And this becomes your dash. You
Yeah, that's the whole dash. You just throw in your phone.
But you've got these side view cameras here and one over here.
This is how I do Bigfoot
And then
research.
you've got this luggage space here if you're going camping, for example.
What she didn't say is that gas or electric. I don't know.
It looks electric to me.
Probably. By the way, those electric cars didn't do so well in the flooding.
So they sink. There's no floating to those things.
All right. Clip 7. Remember I said I'd start posting some of the best Halloween costumes? So we can zip through these really quick. But so let's pick out the next costume for Alex for this Halloween. So he's got to pick one of these. All right.
I don't be jealous of my cock-a-doodle-doo. You can
How
get
about
on
that one?
TikTok shop and find one just for you.
How about that one, Alex?
$25.99. Don't be that crazy maniac rushing into the Halloween store
Huh?
the day before the day of.
That
You
was
like
the
it?
contender.
Pay them high
That's a
dollars.
contender? Okay, clip 7A. Here's another one Alex can build real easy.
Ese ya ganó.
You might have a hard time getting in the door. All right. You just put that over your head. Oh my God. It's creative though. You put a light in there. All right. Or this 3-legged dude. Go ahead and try clip 7B. There you go, Alex. How about that? Just add another leg.
A third leg.
Just add it to the outside.
Right.
Or you could put a shoe. Yeah, never mind.
Or you can
Never
buy
mind.
the wee attachment.
Yeah, you could use my sink.
Yeah.
the wee sink. Okay. You're just going ahead. You can just go ahead and breeze through them. I don't need to.
I like that one. That one's pretty cool.
That's pretty creative. You could do that. You just
I
gotta.
like the Invisible Man. I'm a shy guy.
Yeah. Just got to build something to hold the coat over your head and so you can see out it. There you go. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that the one? Invisible Alex?
We got a couple more contenders.
Yeah, you just go ahead and pick them.
I think I like this one.
This one's my favorite. I mean, the premise is so obvious. It's pretty cool. All right. Alex thought that was pretty funny. The alien abductee. Or my favorite is the last one. All you got to do is dress your arm up. Think about it. You don't have to dress up. Just dress your arm up. Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah, the lazy man's costume. It works.
There it
too.
is. Huh? You just move your arm like a puppet. Chris, which would you pick for Alex?
I like the Invisible Man, but I did like Area 51 too. So those are my two picks.
All right. As Sly Fox would say, that's enough of that crap. All right, that's it. All right. Let's talk Bigfoot. Chris, you told me a story the other day it was chilling. You called me up and you said that you had a reported sighting in very near you, I guess, in your home state. Tell us that story, because it really was weird.
Okay, so you don't really get New Englanders talking about their interactions, and this guy's not going to come public. He's a hunter. He's not going to come out. I tried getting him to do the podcast, all that. He's not coming out, but he did tell me his story. So, he was out hunting, and he was walking down this path, and then up the path from him was a Bigfoot. Now, I'm going to call her a she, because after you hear the rest of the story, you might think that's just a she, but I think it's a she. So he sees her up the path. So he raises his gun and he starts going up the path at her, because that's the only thing that he thinks he can do. He walks up the path, and all of a sudden she throws her hands up like this on the side of her head and goes to the front of her eyes, and then brings her hands down and puts her palms out in front of her. Now he sees that she has nothing in her hands, nothing on her, and I don't know why she did it or what was going on, but I've never heard of that behavior before, ever. So he puts the gun down. As soon as he puts the gun down, she turns to the forest, and he says she makes a strange whistle. And then he said it sounded like a Volkswagen Beetle just being driven through the woods, cracking branches, just running full steam, crack, bam, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden, hop out on the trail comes a smaller one. Now, I think it was her child, but he was short and stocky and beefy. And then he started going down the path at him, and that's when he got out and turned around and walked away. And that was his experience. I have never heard of the hand gesture thing ever. But the whistle and whistling over, I don't know, what do you think was going on there? Was she showing him, what a human was?
I don't know. It's just such a strange behavior, to show the palm of the hands. Maybe that's what they do with each other when they run into another one of their own.
All right. But he said 8.5, 9 foot she was, and then the little one was about 6 foot, but he was like a little stocky, like beefy little muscle bound thing. But he said the way he came through that woods, it sounded like a car was coming through, like driven through the forest. So
that's crazy. So this guy got to see 2 creatures.
Right. And he wasn't a believer. He didn't believe in Bigfoot. He's been in the woods his whole life hunting, and he's a believer for 100%, but he's not gonna. He's afraid of the ridicule. He doesn't want to be ridiculed, so he's not gonna come out and tell his thing. I might be able to get him to record. I'm gonna give him a little bit, but maybe he'll record his story for everybody to hear out of his mouth.
Greg Olson had an interesting comment. And so obviously Patrick did too. It's interesting. Natives showed bare palms.
And was there a reason? Did they know why? Was there a reason why they did it, Greg?
Yeah. Is there a reason behind it? Disarming, maybe.
That's what Todd says. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
I think it also could have been that she goes, I have a little one in the woods, please, I'll show you where he is, just wait right there and I will get him. And so there's no surprises.
Well, the other thing too, it's always been a theory of mine where many of the sightings are a distraction because they know they have their little one nearby somewhere and they kind of want to like, here, look at me. Don't go over there. Look this way.
Right.
Don't look that way. And I think that's what happened with the Freeman creature. I think that's what happened with the PGF film. So, and then you've had experiences. Now you have bear problems.
Oh yeah, we got bears
in your front yard. You have bear problems.
Yeah,
so obviously you've got a lot of wooded habitat near your home. But you've had some other interesting things happen around there other than shooing bears off.
Yeah. So couple, I don't know, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we had some Sasquatch stuff going on to where a point where a blackout helicopter ended up coming here. But a couple weeks ago, Maria and myself were taking, Maria's my wife, and we were taking groceries out of her car. And all of a sudden, from behind us, we hear this. I mean, it's not a bear. I can tell you that. And Maria's like, yeah, Maria's like, Maria's like, did you hear that? I'm like, yeah. She goes, what do you think that was? And I'm like, well, I don't think it was a bear. She goes, oh, I know that wasn't a bear. She goes, what do you think it is? Do you think they're back? And because she's hasn't been in the woods in 6 years. Maria will not go back in. We had a lot of experiences, and she won't go back in. So we just played it off. We heard it. We knew we heard it. We didn't go around telling anybody about it. And then last week I was up the top of the hill, and I work where I live. I'm a superintendent of a complex. I take care of 250 townhouses where I live. And at the top of the mountain, it's all wooded around us, acres of land, like 67 acres, I believe, just around here. And I'm with the owner of the company, and we're at the top of the mountain. And all of a sudden, from the top comes a rock, and it hits. And he looks at me. He goes, what was that? And I'm like, I'm almost 100% sure that was a stone, a rock of some sort. And he's like, yeah, right. In Connecticut, because he knows what I do. And he's very supportive. He doesn't mock me for it. He actually buys T-shirts from us when we sell them. And he puts our Bigfoot stickers on his car. He's really cool guy. But he doesn't, I don't think he's a believer in what goes on. And so he's like, oh, it's probably just an acorn or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know about an acorn. So a couple minutes later, it's fall here in New England, and acorns are falling like crazy right now. And an acorn falls down, and I go to him. I go, now that was an acorn. And he's like, yep, that was an acorn. I said, so there was a little difference there. And he kind of just shrugged it off. 2 minutes later, it had to be at least a softball-sized stone comes hurtling from the top of the mountain, breaking branches, hitting branches, boom, crack, hits the rock at the bottom of the mountain. He turns to me, his eyes are now pie-eyed, and he turns around and looks at me. He goes, that was a rock. I'm like, that was a big rock. He's like, what do you think's up there? The bears don't throw rocks. I'm like, no, bears do not throw rocks. So we had the house, and then the grunt, and then the rocks, and now there's an X structure and a teepee down in the back of my house. Alex has got the picture of the teepee. I sent him on the phone.
You have that, Alex?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead and throw it up. By the way, Daniel, I think it was Daniel, asked where was the Freeman, and Mary Jo was right. Yeah, Washington State, in the Blue Mountains near the Mill Creek watershed. And the Blue Mountains are pretty arid and they're dry, and so he was finding tracks by the spring. There's it's where they get their drinking water. So they were hanging around that area up at the top of this mountain. So you found this.
This is 100 yards from my back door. So way back when I got the coyote leg left at my back door, this was a thing. This was built, but it dilapidated. It fell apart. It broke apart. All the sticks were down, and now it's being rebuilt. Ever since this started with the grunt.
That's interesting.
So
is there a deer trail? I always find these near deer trails and near water, the edge of water.
Oh, the water's right in back of it. You see the little clearing in back of it? There's the water right there.
Well, listen to me now, Chris. I find them next to water, where water intersects with railroad tracks, power line. This is in the suburbs, where a stream or creek connects to power line cut, a railroad track, maybe a human trail, and a deer trail. I can look at Google Maps and almost tell you where to find these things out in the suburbs or on the edges. But it's funny you said that there's water right behind there, huh?
Yeah, right behind it. And there's plenty of deer here. We have deer in the field that come out back. We watch them from our apartment. Turkeys. There's plenty of food sources. There's fish in in the creek there, the river. It's actually called the Mad River. And then there's a sewer plant down the road. So there's that energy, the hydro, whatever, electric energy being used.
Is there any power line cuts or railroad tracks or any?
Not close to this, no. But where Rock Throw Alley is, where I go and do my investigating, there is.
Okay.
There's a power line cut.
Yeah, I found 2 of these near my home in the wooded on the edge of a swamp. And the DNR keeps tearing them down, and they show up all built again the next day.
Right. And they're pretty interesting. So we're watching it and we're keeping an eye on it.
Put a Zoom recorder out there.
Yeah, I'm going to get that all set up and see if what happens.
Me and Blaine put a Zoom on the ones by me, and literally the same night about 3 a.m, you're a perfect wood knock.
Oh yeah, we had like I told you last night, I was doing this. Has just happened now. You guys, it might be a coincidence. I don't know, but my shop that I'm sitting in right now, my office is in the basement in the back corner, and on this side of the wall and back of me is brick, and it's the whole 3 floors of brick. And Maria is up on the top floor right above me. And I'm sitting here and I'm on days. It was like 2:00 in the morning. And then all I hear on the brick, you hear something's hammering on the brick with a fist. It was like doom, 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 doom. And I'm like, I hear it. I'm not going to say anything on the program because they're all going to say, well, this guy's, he's just faking it. He's telling us that there's something banging on the house. So I go upstairs and I get into bed and Maria goes, was that you banging on the house? I'm like, Maria, why would I be banging on the house? She's like, did you hear that? I'm like, I sure as heck heard it. I was down in the basement. I even commented on it after I got off the show. She's like, what do you think that was? And she goes, it sounded like something was pounding on the side of the house, like boom, 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 like that. I said, well, I got an idea of what I think it is, but I can't prove what it is. But she heard the same thing. And it's good to have a witness when this stuff all happens because you're not just blowing off stories. It's she has no reason to lie about it. She doesn't want anything to do with any of this stuff, but she just wants to make sure that she's safe and the babies are safe because, our grandkids live with us. And something was pounding on the side of our house.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've had that kind of similar things happen. I don't know what to make of it. You don't know what to make of it. I've heard one time I heard something huge come up on my deck, just massive, just boom, 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 boom. And then I heard it running away and I'm like, it's 3 a.m. You don't know what it is. So somebody had mentioned about being tagged. I can't remember who it was. Was it Todd? I think it was Todd. Had mentioned, do you feel tagged sometimes? That's a good question. I've felt that way and I've been accused of it, but I don't know if it's true. No way to prove it, right?
Well, I agree. I agree with that 100%. I think this is the ones from my area because I haven't been up there all year yet. Haven't even visited up there. So I think they come down and come see you. How they find you, there's another thing to try and come up with. And I don't even know. I didn't see what did all this stuff. So I cannot say 100% what did it, but you put the pieces together. And then I put a little moonstone, a white and black moonstone. They got the blue crystals inside of it. And I put that on the X that's on the edge of the forest right out here. And that was taken 2 days ago. Now that's disappeared. So stuff like that's going on. But nobody knows this, but I brought pieces of the door home with me from Snellgrove.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I brought souvenirs back. I took pieces of the door and brought it back because they're going to burn it. They're just going to junk it. So I'm like, the green door, that's historic. So I took
it. Is historic. It's legal to take pieces of doors home from Canada across the border.
Right.
Completely legal. Yeah, they're just going to burn it.
Right. So
that was a good idea. That was a really good idea, Chris.
I was going to tell you, you should call them and see if it's still there, and you guys, someone should take the door and maybe put
Geez,
it in.
we could could sell chunks and raise money.
Right.
Little chunks of the Snow Grove, autographed Snow Grove door. That's a good.
Yeah. So
That's
the
too funny.
infamous green door, I have a piece of it.
My
So,
mom once smuggled. My mom smuggled a little tree out of Snow Grove once, and I brought her up there. Get home, and she goes, "Oh, I got to show you my tree I brought home." Like, no, you can't do that. You can't bring plants in. Anyhow, that tree right now, just so you know, is about 9 feet tall. It got planted in at her house in a pot. Then it got transplanted at Joe's, and then Joe sold his home. But I drove by it the other day, and it's like really big.
I saw the first episode I was watching on the other day, and I didn't know Joe. I saw Joe. I was like, "That's Joe!" Oh my God! I never put the pieces together before. I'm like, "Holy cow, that's Joe!"
Yeah, Joe.
Younger, got a mustache going. I'm like, "Oh my God!" It was so cool.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I like Joe.
Yeah, no, he's been up there many. I mean, he went up there 35 years ago with me for the first time. We went up there with Ron Shera. I was doing his TV show I was producing. And the first time I went up there, one of the guys almost died, which was Ron. His gallbladder burst.
Oh yeah, you were telling us about
while
that.
we were there, and he had to get rushed up and taken to the hospital. And the pilot left me and Joe. We didn't know it. We were literally way out there somewhere on the lake, and they just took off and left us there. The plane just left. And we had no idea even where the cabin was. We didn't know anything. We found the cabin. We didn't know if he's coming back in the day or tomorrow or whatever. Eventually, he did come back, but I think it was the next day. But I had no idea. But that was my first trip there, and I thought, oh yeah, this is it. This is some pretty high adventure coming up here.
That's the beauty of the internet now. Like you said, it's going to change Bigfoot because you're going to be able to go into remote areas and feel safer. Because exploration is not for everybody. It's not. Discovery is you have to go and push your limits. I mean,
did you feel safer because we had we could call out on the internet?
I felt safer that we could watch the night.
Yeah,
the night bothers me. The night has always bothered. My first interaction was that night, and I'm not gonna lie, it bothers me, but it doesn't stop me. I'll still go and do it. I'll still be there. But it does. But to watch those cameras at night when you're kicking back and you're ready to fall asleep and you got the cameras you're watching on your phone is huge.
Yeah,
huge. And then you're asleep and you don't know what goes on anyway, so let them come and wake you up. But just that peace of mind knowing that there's nothing sneaking around at that point in time is huge.
Yeah, and then you go on the fact that we didn't have them come up to the cabin and bang on it or come up on the porch like we did last year. They were a lot more active. We had the cameras hidden like under the porch, but this time we tried to disguise them so we could get full body shots. But I don't think anything approached the cabin this time. They were throwing rocks at the cameras. We knew they were there. And you want to just, for the people that don't know, the last day was probably your most active day for you. And the first day out there was my most active day for me and Adam, because they came up on the porch. You guys were sleeping and they were beating on the, on the wall and on the floor. And then you did hear them when they took their hand or a stick and went along the.
Right. Yeah, I heard that for sure.
And that was a bump, 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 bump. And I kind of think they did it with their hand, don't you?
Yeah, I think it was a hand. I don't think it was a stick. I think whatever it was just ran his hand across the rafters. And they're way up there. We filmed it this last time just to show people how high up that is. That's like 14 feet.
Yeah.
Whatever was on the ground was reaching up 14 feet and just like you would run your hand like around a fence. It was going across the rafters of the roof. Shaking the back of the cabin too while doing it.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
And then we got the thunder knock, and we, the recordings, and that's why I went back up, because I wanted to see what was going to happen after last time we left. That thunder knock was amazing, and I thought,
I want to play a thunder knock or a power knock that my friend Bill sent me, and he called it a power knock, but I want to play it if you don't mind. Tell me if this is kind of what you heard. Let me get this going here. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's wait here. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
You hear a bunch of like branches breaking.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good knock, that's for sure. That's like a tree snap.
Yeah, that's what like Eric, I showed it to Eric. He thinks it was a big branch breaking off. Is the one you heard at Snell? Could it have been a tree that was extended beyond where it could bend and it snapped?
Right. Well, we looked right, and we were looking right at the forest when that happened. We were looking directly where that thunder knock came from, and there was no movement in the trees whatsoever. There was a recoil. There was like beforehand, it was like a crackling noise. It went, and then it just went boom, like the biggest, loudest, like an explosion, and then the recoil hit us in the chest 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. It was crazy. I wish we could have recorded it, because I know people, and that was not. I'm not knocking that. That was pretty big. That was this big, huge snap that you just played, and I'm not knocking anybody else's recordings, but I haven't heard anything. Mr. Ellis came closest with one of his that they had at their gate when they were recording up at the gate at their area. But
this is a clear blue sky. You had just had pine cones thrown at you earlier.
Yeah, 11 o'clock, 11:30.
I had left one day early. You guys were still there. You're on your last day. You're leaving.
Yep.
And you guys claimed that you could feel even the percussion, the pre-percussion of that.
We felt the aftermath. After that knock came, we felt like waves would hit you. Like if you were standing in the ocean and those waves would hit you in the chest.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. 3 of them. Boom, boom, boom. And me and Bud look at each other, and we don't even say, "Did you hear that?" We go, "Did you feel that?"
Yeah.
There was it was like a recoil afterwards. It was crazy. And of course, we were leaving. All our stuff was on the dock, and we were waiting for the plane, and she came like 2 minutes later. But we didn't record it, and it's a shame that we didn't get it on recording, because it would have been pretty.
Throw up David Ellis's comment. He says his first thunder knock he heard sounded like 30-foot power poles being struck.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Like that's how Bud and I just 2 30-foot trees, one being swung at it and them colliding like a lifesaver, like a hit. 2 of them hitting at once. Boom.
Well, okay. Well, something like that. We often talk about how we think that they make the standard wood knock sound with their mouth or their body. And you don't think your thunder knock could be made with the body. You think that has to be some external force.
If it was made with a body, we could have seen whatever made it, because it had to be 30 foot tall.
Oh, okay.
It would have had to be. It was the craziest thing I've ever heard so far.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I wished I would have heard that. Dang.
The recoil was the best part, feeling it. Well, how do you feel? It was like an explosion.
But did you also, what did you hear before the power knock?
Like a lightning, like a crackle, and like a
crackle.
Like that.
But there's no way it was lightning or thunder.
No. It was sun was beaming. It was the first day of sunshine we had all week.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's fun.
Yeah,
So-
it's such a mystery. It really is. But there were so much weird things that happen up there. You can't just blow them off. Even the orbs that were seen right out the window, or the red lights right out the window that
The
Adam
orbs.
and Joe saw. You didn't see those, did you, Chris?
No, I saw the red light at the island that you guys seen, and then I
Right.
seen the lantern. It looked like a lady was holding a white light on the side of the. That's how I explain it. It looks like someone was holding a lantern on the side of the pond, the
Mm.
lake. I saw that, and then Bud saw the red light between us and him when he was out doing his experiments out in the boat. One of the nights he was out there with his FLIR and everything by himself, and we were at the cabin. And he said he was watching the red light between us and him.
And didn't Bud have some kind of weird experience in the cabin too? Like in the cabin on the last day. Thought there was some orb or something he saw.
Oh yeah, the light that came in that last night.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. There was a beam of light. He was sleeping on the couch because he had his stuff packed up. And he slept on the couch in the living room, and he woke up like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He said there was a beam of light that came into the cabin and was hitting the back of the couch where he was sleeping. And he said it was a perfect beam, just like projected like a flashlight coming in at the cabin. Yeah,
At
I forgot
night.
all about that.
And this is at night.
Yeah, this was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Yep, the last
In the
night.
dark. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
What did everyone think it was?
I have no idea what that was. That's a strange place. I think there's a lot more that happens up there than we really
A lot
know
of weird
about.
activity.
Yeah, it is a strange place. What else? Oh, there was something else that happened up there. Damn it, I can't think of it. Why am I drawing a blank?
You guys heard that who?
Oh yeah, the Yahoo. Yeah, when we were fishing on the other side of the cabin where the lake goes around that peninsula. And we heard a very clear ahoo. Then we heard it again. Heard it twice. And it was definitely an ah and then a whoo. But
And that's
daylight.
reported. That's reported numerous times that ahoo.
That's what I've heard.
Yep.
God, there was something else that we had the talking, we collected the hair. We've got a lot of rocks, recordings of rocks hitting cameras as if. Do you think they're saying I know where they are by throwing a rock at it? That's got to be. They just want to see that the metal sound when they hit it.
Right. I don't know why I'm trying to figure out what the rock thing is. I've experienced a lot of rocks, and I don't know why, but I have experienced a lot of rocks, and I would love to know why they do it, why they're doing it. I mean, I got hit in Florida. I was on an expedition down the Green Swamp earlier in July, and I was hit for the first time. Bud was right next to me, and he saw it come in and hit me right in the leg, and I'm like, wow, that was the first time I've ever been hit before. Usually great aim. They're usually just around you, but this one hit me. So I don't know what the whole thing is about the rock throws.
The weirdest thing that happens to me at Snell, I can't remember anything from Snell. Hardly anything. I remember the certain highlights, but I'm like, whoa, what did we do all day? I know we fished. I remember fishing 1-2 days maybe.
Right.
But like, what about all the other days?
What
did we do?
Yeah, just ate and hung out and discussed things. And
I know, but I have these really weird mental gaps. And I had that last year too. Like, what? How did time go that quick?
Right.
And what did we do? I don't know. It was just weird. I know at night, I have more memories at night, but during the day, I hardly have any. Like, did we even eat breakfast ever?
Well, we ate a couple of times. We had breakfast. Yeah.
Just twice. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This time was we were more organized this time, so I think that's what helped out things, because we know last time we were never there. We were greenhorns, Adam, myself, and and Bud. So we didn't know what to expect. This time we knew what it was all about.
Yeah,
We were prepared.
Yeah,
I
no,
think that might have had something to do with the activity too, because they knew that we came back and we were lock and loaded this time, and I think that's why they didn't come around as much.
Well, the highlight of my trip was finally getting a hold of the owner who owns the cabin, sitting him down for a nice TV style interview for Legend Meets Science too, and him admitting basically and telling all of the Bigfoot activity that he's experienced up there. And it's really amazing. I mean, the trapper cabin story, the story of himself being followed after a plane crash near Snell Grove, the damage, his opinion on the damage that's happened up there. And I'll never forget, he goes, that cabin has cost me so much money because of all the repairs that it's constantly needing due to something damaging it. So,
well, you guys talked to that guy in the plane, right?
Guy gets in the plane and he goes, I mean, we hadn't even introduced each other. He's just like, I'm buckled in because we stopped to pick those guys up at another lake. And he goes, what bangs on a wall? And I'm like, well, I got a few ideas. I said, well, we'll talk about it when we get off the plane.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, and it's just like it kept banging on the wall, like 3 a.m. It was just banging on it. I thought it was my buddy. And he just kind of told me the whole story. It was pretty funny. I'm like, okay, what cabin? Yeah, I know which one it was too. So that's another possibility to go to a different cabin.
I'd like to ask you guys a question before, I don't know how much longer we got, but the IR light thing. Now, everybody says that they see the IR lights. Sure. I'm starting to believe that the IR lights are blinding them.
Yeah.
I think that's what their problem is with them. I think they can't come close to them because it blinds them and they can't see where they're going. Now, Bud and Angie just had a thing down at Flat Rock's place, and he caught one on thermal, but it wasn't going. He only caught it on thermal because Angie didn't have her IR light on. So it was circling around. I wish Bud was here to tell the story, and I hope I get it right, but it was circling around Bud because Bud had his thermal on, and Angie was looking at it, and she forgot to put her IR light on. So Bud caught it. You could see the hand on the other side of the tree, and it goes like this, and then it ducks behind the tree like this. It's pretty, it's not end all footage, but it's pretty good footage.
Like, what else could it be?
Right. But I think that ambush scene that Adam invented, I think that is going to produce some, if people start using that, because my theory is right about these things being blinded by the IR light, if that thing's triggered while one of them's underneath it, it's not going to know where to go. It's going to be confused. It's not going to go which way to run. It's not going to know if that's what's happening. And I really believe that's what's happening. I think the light is blinding them to the point where they don't even want to go even close to it. I don't think they know it's a camera. I just think that light hurts their eyes because they can see at dark at night. They have incredible eyesight at night. I mean, we were watching one on FLIR one night, 100 yards away from us, and one guy turned around to grab something out of his backpack, and that thing seen in pitch black, seen him turn around and hid behind a tree instantly and started peeking out like that at us. So I'm wondering if that IRI is blinding them, because if that is the case, Adam's invention is going to produce some results if we start.
Yeah, because everything's off and the light is quite a ways away from the camera.
Right.
And so when that gets triggered, then they're lit up from above.
Right. Yeah. See, Blue Eyed Northern was there. She was at Flat Rock's place with Bud and Angie. So I think she said I got it right. Yeah. So it's really good footage for, I'm telling you, wait till you see it.
Well, okay, Sly Fox brings up a really good question. Do you think they see like a predator in different or multi-spectrums? So I've suspected because other animals can see in UV like caribou. I'm pretty sure black bears can. I know deer can now. They've proven just more and more animals can see in the UV range, which is basically the lack of a filter that hasn't developed yet. I think they can see in UV and probably can see, they probably have very sensitive eyes, probably can see in the IR range better than we can. Was once again, we have a filter for IR in our eyes. So their eyes are more crude. So this multi-frequency lighting that you're talking about actually is a more primitive eye. Our eyes have evolved to not be in that, to do what we need to do and not what we don't, because we don't live in the wild anymore.
Right.
Like we've been domesticated. And like caribou's eyes change color depending on the time of year. And so they can see better in the winter, better in the summer. Their eyes change color. They're blue in the winter and brown in the summer. And they see in UV spectrum. And UV spectrum would allow them to see urine. It would allow them to see certain animals glow in the moonlight when UV light reflects. And this, the whole IR thing is weird, but those little emitters are quite powerful. They're LEDs, they're lasers, they're IR lasers. So absolutely, they could possibly, blind them or just, make them uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah, see, Bigfoot New York Todd brings up a great point, because their eyes light up like none other when, they see that IR, any animal does. So
yeah,
what if that just blinds them and they're to the point of confusion, and that's why they don't go near them? That's just a thought. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know. Again, I'm not the Bigfoot guru either. I'm just throwing things out there because you listen to people's stories and you put.
David Mitchell was impressed. He said, "Wow, yeah, I mean that hit him. Like that could be a reason."
Right.
I agree.
So
It very
that
well
ambush
could be.
is going to be huge once we.
Would you
start.
remember the Brian Gosling story up in Whitehall where he sees this thing coming towards him, charging him in this field up in Whitehall, New York, and he's a cop and he just throws his spotlight up on it and it screams and puts its hands. He says it puts its hands over its eyes and screams and runs off. Or I don't think a human would do that. They wouldn't scream. They wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
It wouldn't hurt them that bad.
So it might very well be something to just keep in your trunk of tricks. You never know.
Yeah, that's why we so often don't use IR. I've never had activity with IR cameras. Todd mentioned they need a tactical advantage. I absolutely agree with that. The night they came up on the porch like 3 times and beat the rafters in the back of the cabin, went under the cabin. There was no moon, there was clouds, and we had no cameras visible.
Right.
The only cameras we had were under the porch, way under, and those cameras couldn't pick up anything because it was zero light.
Right.
And they had a tactical advantage of no moon. This year we had a pretty good moon every night.
Oh yeah, it was bright, very bright.
Yeah,
it was like that,
so that
yellowish orange.
So yeah, one of the things would be great if like Bigfoot mapping. And I should really ask Scott whether he's doing that. Is there more activities, more sightings during full moons or no moon?
That'd be a good thing to.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because I don't think they need it. They don't need any artificial or any light at all, or any light to walk out there. I think they have no problem seeing at night. I think they can make their way through the forest with ease.
Okay, last question or thing I want to bring up. Snow grove is definitely true wilderness, right? We all agree. But then why they also seem to adapt to the outer edges of the suburbs, because there's a lot of game. There's a lot of food there. Wild turkeys, coyotes, rabbits, all sorts of grouse, pheasants, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of food, deer. So do you feel, Chris, that Bigfoots can be in the suburbs?
Oh yeah, 100%. I know they're here. I know I've experienced them here for 9 years. I mean, my town's a population 11,000 people. I mean, it's very small for nowadays. I mean, it's not like in the boonies, but it's not a very. I mean, we have one McDonald's and no grocery store or anything like that. It's just a small little town, and they've been here. There's reports of them here since the 70s, and there's a report from 1895 called the Winchester Wildman, and the town, the mayor, a representative of the town, was out picking blackberries with his dog, and one jumped out of the bushes and scared the bejesus out of him. And back then they even tried to hide it as an escaped convict from the prison. So they've been covering it up for a long time. But so there's been reports here for many years, and so yeah, I believe that they can be in the suburbs.
Very interesting. All right, well, let's wind everything up. We've been on long enough. It was really fun having you on, Chris.
Yeah, thanks you for having me.
And you'll be seeing more of Chris soon here when he gets the show back. He had to take a break, but he's coming back. Cranking out new shows.
Yep, I'm already lining them up. We got some great guests coming up already.
Good.
So, excited.
Good to hear. Did you guys work out a day?
We're going to do Thursdays.
Thursdays. Okay, good. Alrighty, with that, thank you so much, everybody in chat and our live audience. And Chris, I appreciate you having fun with us tonight.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And remember, everybody, that you will have far more and more pleasant experiences in your life if you have less expectations. So expect less, you'll be happier. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
I call you up in the middle of the night, been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait. If ever you should be in doubt, and I'll pray they never can pull us apart, and I'll wait for the time when we'll be together every day. But I know if ever we'll be led astray, that I'll find my way back home to you again. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait. If ever you should be in doubt, and I pray they never can pull us apart, and I'll wait. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait. If ever you should be in doubt, and I pray they never can pull us apart, and I'll wait for the time when we'll be together every day.